Alright, hello everyone. This video is about how to pack flowers. In my case, this is a big size peony. That's 38 centimeters from petal to petal, and I need to pack 4 of them and some other flowers into one box. So what I have, my box is my box measures, I'll show you. This is 40 centimeters by 40 something, 43, and it is 60 centimeters tall. So absolutely right fit for my peony. But what if I do one? Do I want me to throw another one on top of it? No, I don't think. Because these peonies are really precious. I spent so much time making them. I spent so many sheets of papers. Pretty expensive designer papers. So I don't want to waste everything. I don't want them to be damaged during their journey with Australia Post. So what I do, I make layers and shelves inside of this box. But first of all, what should I do? I need to protect the bottom of the box and to cover this with some plastic. And you see these flaps here, they are not stable. So my flowers won't be flat at the bottom. So what I do before packing, I just glue flaps to the bottom with just a little bit of glue and press. Well, I just cannot dive right into the box for this video, and a little bit of glue again, and well, I'll do this, press and wait for a tiny bit. Alright, done. Now our bottom is absolutely flat. We need to protect this bottom, because if I put some flowers in, to the bottom of the box, and if someone, the postman, will put my box to the wet ground, this will get wet, and the flowers will absorb all this humidity and water. So what I do, you know what's this? That was a bag from Just Jeans shop. I always say to my customers, look guys, I do not care how beautiful or not your box looks inside. I do care about how beautiful and safe your flowers are. So I do recycle everything. So this is a plastic bag. I just cut this here and there just to make it flat. So what I do, a little bit of glue again, 4 points and somewhere in the center, and then I press my bag, my plastic bag, right to the bottom. So this is stable now. This doesn't move. And now you would say that I can put my first flower right to the bottom, but no, not yet. What I do, this is the bottom of my flower. If I put it like this, and during the postage, box will move this way, and the flower at the bottom will move, shake this way. So what I do, just a tiny bit of glue here and here, and put right to the bottom and press and wait for a couple of minutes. Let the glue cool down, and you will see that if you move the box, nothing moves. Done? Done. Now we protect this bottom flower just a tiny bit. The next thing, the biggest secret is, you see I've marked some positions for the future shelves for myself. So what I do, I make shelves now for each next flower. Again, I recycle everything. Can you read what's this? Wine of Australia. Wow, 12 bottles. My neighbor is really great guy. He is 81-year-old and he drinks lots of wine. And he knows that I make flowers and I always in need of board. So he donate to me all his boxes and I cut them to the pieces just to make shelves and different stuff. So what I do, this is one of my shelves, right? This is just, that was another flap of this wine box. So what I do, I glue this thingy right to my future shelf, this way, right? And then I glue this part right to the mat. How to make these marks? Wait a sec. And we need to press and wait for a tiny bit just to be sure that that's all securely done. No, you see, that's a little bit too small. That's okay. So what we do, actually, you could cut the shelf from one side to another, but I do not want to use really brand new board. I don't want to pay for this. I don't want to waste this board because my customer will just throw it once they receive their beautiful flowers. So I work with what I have. I have wine bottles and that's the size of wine bottle, and this is less than 40 centimeters, the size of my box. So the thing is, I just need to make slightly longer shelf flaps. So what I do then, I make a flap like this and I glue this here and okay, let's try this way. Okay, perfect. And then we just wait a bit. So that shelf is almost ready, right? And now we can glue this right to its place and wait. Normally process looks a little bit easier just because not often I use that height boxes, but in this case with pennies and with this particular order, with this particular customer, I need these particular boxes, so I'll go for them, right? And now I glue another one to the opposite side. And done. You see, sometimes when I send flowers to the customer, which I know will just open the box, take out the flowers and put them to the wall in the nursery, at home, and that's it. I do not make this kind of shelves. I just glue this and that side both, that's it, because then they will just rip them off and throw, and that's okay. But with this particular customer, I know she will use and reuse flowers, so she will need to take them out, and then after the use she will need to put them back. So if she rips everything off, she won't be able to safely pack them back. So I make shelves which she will be able to open, take flower, and then reuse this box. So here we go with our first shelf done. So now I will put some glue on to the back of the flower, and just tiny bit of glue here and here, just to fix. We do not need to glue it forever. We just need to fix it for the postage process. So you would ask, how did I mark those lines inside the box? So if I take my penny and put this onto the surface and measure the height of it, so that's maybe not clear in this video, but if I measure this on the table, I'll see that it is about 8 something centimeters height of it, but I mark 9 centimeters for each shelf, just to be sure that shelf does not sit on my on the tips of my petals. So 9 centimeters marks, and now just a little bit of glue, and bam, and this sits perfectly. Now we go with the second shelf and do all the same job again. Bit of glue to here, and I'll dry this first, just to be sure, this way, yeah, and let it sit. And while I'm waiting for the shelf, I make this flap here. Yeah, just be sure that this really sticks well. Alright. And now this one, just a little bit of glue. Don't forget to press. Just do not leave it like this. Just press. You see what I do? I press from here and from outside as well. So I am sure that this shelf really holds the weight of the flower. Alright. Here we go with the second one. Great. And my third flower is here. That's nice. That's the pink one. Yeah, and actually that's how we make the back of the flower. I put my business details very often. Normally, I make only one loop at the back of the flower. For big flowers like these peonies, normally I put 2 loops here and just from the opposite side, because if the flower is on the wall, sitting, let's say, on a nail or pin on this loop, and there's a high humidity or just open window and rainy weather, whatever happens, these top petals, they can kind of fade a bit, they can fall down a bit. So what I do recommend to my customers, just take it off, turn it this way 180 degrees and hang using this loop. So these petals which fell down a little bit, they will fall down again, but just to the opposite side, so they will be straight again. And this sometimes you need to do these maybe once in a quarter or just after the wet season, which is pretty often in Australia. Why did I make 4 loops at these flowers? Because these flowers are going to one of the bridal boutiques, and the lady will use them in the window. So she will hang them in the window. And now, just for you to understand how it works when that's in the window. If you hang flower with only one loop, it will swing this way and that way. Can you imagine the window with mannequins and bridal gowns, pretty gowns, where the flowers are swinging, and sometimes you can see this ugly backing? Not nice. So once you have 2 loops or any 2 points to fix the flower on the fishing wire right to the ceiling, they won't swing. That's the trick. So I packed 3 peonies and I still have half of my box empty. So what I do next, I will make another shelf, and then I will put some small flowers onto this shelf like this and like that, wild roses and any others which I have in this order. And then another trick I have when I pack flowers, another plastic bag you can find from after your shopping done, or any other plastic you have. I have a lot because I have lots of friends from different shops, and they know that I make flowers and I want to protect them, so they just pass to me all the packaging they have, and then I just cut them to the size and use, and never ever buy plastic for my business. So what I do when I finish packing the box, when that's full right to the top, I put some glue onto the edge of the box and I glue a piece of plastic right to here and then right to here. What this does to me, first of all, that's a protection, because, well, we protected the bottom of the box just in case if someone put your box onto the wet ground. But what if that's rainy weather and the loading dock at your post office isn't covered enough, or if the postman brings your box right to the customer, right to their property, to their door, and he needs to go, let's say, 5 meters from their car to the door, and that's a heavy rain. So what happens? Your box will get wet. Whatever is outside, whatever happens, you need to protect what's inside your flowers. So additional piece of plastic at the top will really protect them to get wet just during this process. Another thing is, if you have a flower at the top, yes, this will be, as you see, glued to the shelf. This won't move, but anyway, you need to kind of fix it here and press those petals. Let's say your flower sits not right at the top, but just a little bit lower. And other small flowers like hydrangeas are somewhere in the corners, so you won't be able to stick all the flowers to the box. That's ridiculous. So if you stick a piece of plastic here and there, it will make kind of an additional layer which will keep everything right on their places. And if your box fall down and over, your flowers won't shake and move in the box in any situation, right? So you can be sure that it's terrible safely. That's it. That's how I do this. Well, and obviously then you need to nicely pack with good quality tape. Use fragile tape where you can. You can buy a roll like this, or you see what else you can do. Handle with care, and then that's even easy because you can rip you can rip it. You do not need scissors. Handle with care, or you can do this fragile for smaller boxes. And never ever forget about your nice labeling of the box. That's what I have for my each box with the flowers. I have a file in Excel. I just made the template for myself to and from Sydney paper flowers, from Anastasia Ivanova, from Australia most of the times, and then I just copy and paste from my online shop the address, and I never put this. I do not write it by hand because I always can make a mistake with spelling, and then the address will be wrong. So no, sorry guys, you, my customers, you are responsible for your right address spelling. So I just copy paste whatever you put in your system yourself, and then this box goes to this address. Then I just stick, when I stick labels to the box, I use clear tape, and I tape not only here where the opening of the box is, and not only at the top, at the bottom, and at the sides of my paper label, but all the way through. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just I cover, yes, I cover with plastic my paper label. Yes, me, the person who is against of the plastic at all, but this is the case where you need plastic, because again, if that's the rainy weather, or if something happens and this just rips off, or your ink which your printer used just fade, or I don't know what can happen, but anything can happen when you post your goods, your pretty precious and fragile goods. Just cover with clear tape so nothing comes off, and you can be sure that box will still be with your label when that's at the destination, at the final destination. That's it. Almost ready to be posted.